Action. Right here I have Terry Wilt, and he's going to share. We ran into each other on the street. He was asking me, I work for Uber. He was asking me some questions about Uber. And then when I called him to get the information, which a lot of these companies, you can't call a day to get an answer, I gave him a little information to help him out. And then I asked if I could interview him because it was pretty interesting. He gave me this card. And one of the things I liked about the card was not as much the information on there. I was in alignment with it, but the fact that he said, if you don't like it, you can fuck yourself. that was the part that I liked, and that's when I knew that I had to interview him.
No, I told him that he could tear it up or throw it away, do anything he wanted with it. You never know.
I translate it to Jedi.
Okay, yeah, if you say you go fuck yourself, somebody's going to take offense at that and say, die, motherfucker, and get their knife out. And I didn't really know Steve here well at the time, and I still don't know him really well. But he seemed to be a bright, interesting young man who is trying to make the world a better place. And anyway, the card he mentioned were just sayings that I found in the newspaper when I was in my 30s, and I liked them. I cut them out, but newspaper doesn't last long. So I had them printed up, and I just passed them out to people. I passed them out, basically, the short one says, I expect to pass through life but once. If therefore there could be any kindness I can show, or any good thing I can do for any fellow being, let me do it now, and not defer or neglect it, as I shall not pass this way again. William Penn said that, and everybody knows who William Penn is. And the other side is by Schopenhauer, the great philosopher. He said, it is easy to let the adulation of the deity of God make amends for the lack of proper behavior towards men. And so we see that in all times and in all countries, the great majority of mankind find it easier to beg their way into heaven by prayers than to deserve to go there by their actions. And I believe both of these.
I wanted to kind of like, for me, that goes to what you were saying earlier before we started videotaping, is that people like Hitler and Stalin didn't know that they're evil. Even sometimes our government, they don't know, like, a lot of things that we're doing is evil action. We're kind of, in my own words, they're trying to survive. And a lot of times their personal survival or the survival of a country or survival of my family, we feel that somebody else has to lose. Is that what that's I mean, that can go a lot of ways, what you're talking about, but
yeah, not sort of in that direction, and that everybody thinks they're doing good. Even if they're not doing good, they think they are, or they wouldn't be doing it. Such as Hitler or Stalin or Genghis Khan, and you can name many others. And even in the religions have had wars, killing their fellow man to force them to pray to God the way they do. And all religions have done this, and they're doing it now. And I think this is, God doesn't want anybody to be killing someone to make them pray a certain way or to go to a certain church, synagogue, mosque, or whatever else there is. We should have more peace in the world, and everybody feels like they're doing right in the world, whether they are or not.
So so besides the words, what does that take? What do you feel it takes to separate from just having an ideology and trying to get the approval of a deity through the words of man? What is the thing to take your thoughts of your religion, that's a religion of goodness, and actually putting your actions there instead of, like you said, just being Christian for that hour at church?
Well, I didn't mention that Christian hour in church, but
You did.
that's exactly right. On the phone I did,
yeah.
yes. On the phone I did, and when I was a little boy, I was taught all the Bible and Ten Commandments and all that, and I liked it. Let he who is without sin first throw the first stone, for example. But I found that too many people, in my opinion, that went to church were 1 hour a week Christian and did a lot of bad things with the excuse, I'm a Christian, I can do anything I want, and God loves me because I go and I pray. And I'm probably oversimplifying it, but I stopped going to church. And a lot of people feel need to belong to different groups, whether it's a church or a political party or any organization, just to feel better about themselves. And there's nothing wrong with this, but it's not as right as we sometimes think either.
Yeah, it is a human need to be part of something greater than ourselves, and a lot of us get duped, whether it's for moments, or for a long period of time. Yeah.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
Speaking of religion, there are theories out there that we were visited thousands of years ago by beings from other planets. And just for example, there are blocks in Chile and other places in the world that are so finely cut and placed together that they would have had to have been done by some machine that was impossible to have back then. That it's hard for them even to duplicate now. And blocks weighing 40, 60, 80, 100 tons that are moved great distances from their quarries in which they were cut out of to places, where they're placed on other blocks high in the air. The pyramids is just one example.
So that's what I was going to go to. You're not talking about the pyramids, but you're talking about actual other stuff.
Yeah, I'm talking about God could be a way of space aliens or smarter than we are, because they can fly through space in ways that we can't even think about, and they wanted what was best for man. So it's possible that the idea of God is someone coming down, and their pictures are drawn like they have wings. They could have been through a flying saucer, and they say you should do this and this and this and this, and be good to each other. Don't hurt each other. Don't get drunk and rape your neighbor's wife. Don't steal from people. And you can bring up the 10 Commandments, or various other religions have things that says do good to one another. And it's not a bad idea. But the idea of God, you can have lots of arguments about.
So you're saying in this vast universe, this big giant universe with many, many galaxies, that we're not the only...
I don't think we are. I mean, if man is the highest creation in the whole universe, with all the other planets that are in the Goldilocks zone, not too hot, not too close, not too far, not too hot, not too cold, not too close to their sun, not too far from their sun, that have water, that could have life. Who are we to say, with the universe being, 14, 15, 16 billion years old, and our galaxy is only about 4 or 5, our solar system is only 4 or 5 billion years old, that there are other beings out there a lot smarter than we are, a lot brainier than we are.
If God created this whole universe for just us, I mean, he's not too ergonomically sound.
I agree, 100%.
Yep.
I can't argue with that. I can't even add to that. This is a brilliant man, and he's doing things that I never even thought about doing, and putting different philosophies on the internet. And I actually would probably like to see something else he's done besides myself.
Nice,
go ahead.
Nice.
He's a great interviewer.
Okay, wait 1 sec. I'm gonna stop this, and then we're gonna come back, and we're gonna regroup and come back again.
Okay.